have the,
Can I have somebody to present to as opposed to just like the big group? Can I present to you? Because it's just more
You're
conversational.
gonna love me.
Good.
Oh, no.
Drill it home, man.
I just listen.
All right, so a little background on this particular account. So this was a realtor. His wife's a dentist in Slidell. He owns a commercial real estate company as well as a residential real estate company. His biggest challenges were he's trying to, in the real estate game, we all know it's all about you're working with a realtor about having trust, and he wants to get his brand out there. So when his realtors go to market, they know the Loescher name. We know Gardner, we know Louder and Bloom, but he wants to try to, that was his whole goal for the marketing campaign. His wife's practice right now, she's doing just a billboard out in Slidell. So he was doing a little bit of small cable on the North Shore, but he's trying to really explode and blow up his brand. So he took the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with us. We worked up a great plan for him to incorporate not just his commercial side of real estate, but also the challenges that his wife was seeing on the dental side. So, good to see you. Thanks again for taking the time. So, we talked about a lot of things in our last conversation about how we want to help you elevate your brand, but more importantly, too, work with your wife's dentist practice. And so what we did right now is we looked at for our research as some of the top reasons why someone would choose an agent. And I know when my wife and I were looking at buying a house, it was important for us to find a realtor that we could also trust, had a great reputation, that would knowledge of the neighborhood, and more importantly, it was based off referrals. Let me ask you a question. When you go out into the marketplace, do you think it's important to have a realtor company that has a good reputation, that's honest, that works off referrals, and that knows the neighborhood? That's important. Would you agree?
Extremely.
Okay. Also, too, the top 4 months of annual sales, May, June, July, and August. Would you agree? That's key.
Those are key.
Okay. And you understand why it's going to be in that space, because it's usually back to school. It's not on the holidays. So we know that our research matches what you're saying.
That's correct.
Awesome. Great. So look at the seasonality of the business. This is going to also hit onto when we do our schedule later on, how we're going to take your marketing brand, and we're going to make sure that we deliver in the key months. Now, in November, December, while it may be slow, we still want to have a presence. And we can do that for you either through some holiday messaging, but just to keep your brand out there into the marketplace. So we look at as far as some statistics. 50% of buyers begin their process 6 to 12 months in advance. We did a lot of research really to find out why these home buyers are using real estate agents. We know in the space of Zillow and some different mobile applications, the home buyers still want to use a local realtor to make their decision in the process. And so it's very important for us to not just use broadcast television, but to also pair in a digital component to make sure we hit all screens as well.
They're there.
They are there. Next slide. It's okay. Okay, so we look as far as like our approach based upon what you told us. So what we're going to do is we looked at the market research in our top Fox 8 programs to make sure that we're communicating with your clientele. The television schedule is going to be in comparison to a New Orleans market in terms of reach and frequency, but more importantly, we're going to provide what's called a hybrid solution to make sure that we're not only just broadcast, but we're also a digital element. Now, it's important for you to be in a digital space. Would you agree?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the competition is there, because now that there were buyers are shopping first online.
Good.
They're searching online for homes.
Awesome. We can completely agree with that. So we look at the next slide here. It'll show us the top programs. And what we did was we pulled all of our programs on Fox 8 and we indexed that against those who are looking for the viewership in the homes. And what that's going to show is the people that are new home buyers. So we're going to make sure that we deliver your message on in the programs that are going to not only over-index in homeowners, but more importantly, connect with the audience we're looking for. Because it's very little different how you target and how people watch television today. It's also, you have to also understand too, that while we lead and we're one of the top stations in the marketplace, we only want to make sure that we put your commercial in front of those people who are interested in buying a new home. Okay, so these programs, based upon our research we showed to you earlier, are going to match up against the new home buyers. Any questions in regards to programming? Are you familiar with the programs here with Fox 8
Oh, yes.
and Wheel of Fortune? Okay, good. Okay, so how do we put this together for you? So we're going to utilize a 30-second campaign as well as 15-second campaign. to cover 16 commercials a month, 48 commercials a month, 192 commercials a month over the course of 1 to 3, 12 months. Now, you're going to ask yourself, there's two different schedules here. Why is one more than the other, right? Okay, what we're doing here is we're going to bring over and add the 9 o'clock news and 10 o'clock news, which are very important to capture and make sure we reach the homeowners. Now, that particular schedule for a 1 month campaign, as you see, as you stay on television, your reach and frequency starts to expand. You look confused.
I'm trying to look at the two and make the comparison.
Okay, what kind of questions can I help answer for you for those particular schedules?
Actually, I'm looking here and I'm looking at the 192 commercial. I'm looking at the annual as
Mhm.
the frequency, just comparison. Then you say we're adding the 9 and 10 o'clock news.
Yes.
News slots on number 2.
Yes.
Now, I'm just trying to let them register in my mind to make sure I'm understanding when you speak to.
So look, so it's going to be a little higher investment, but look at your reach. You've almost doubled your reach for a fraction of the cost. Okay, so when we look at as far as going out into the marketplace with your branding and your marketing, we want to make sure that we deliver you the results. Okay, then I'm asking another question too. If I were to secure you one new home purchase, would that cover that investment?
Oh, $1,500, most definitely.
Okay, good. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so this is when the hybrid solution comes in. So we look at as far as, when how we as consumers, right? So we're on our mobile devices, we're watching television as well. It's important that we don't discount the Facebook and Fox 8 website because we know that's where our audience is also paying attention. Okay, now on your website, you're currently doing some lead generation.
Okay.
As you can see, we pulled it from your website here as well. Okay, what's the percentage of people that actually fill out forms through your website?
So 20%?
20%. So there's room for growth. Would you agree?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Okay, great. So let me show you how we're going to help you grow in this space here. Next slide. Okay, so in doing so, this right here is we look at this is going to be for Facebook marketing, as far as your posts that are being non-business versus promotional posts. We have to make sure that when we go out and develop traffic to your website, that the posts it's all consistent with what you're branding and what you're messaging. So we're going to help you as well as do your Facebook. Do you manage your Facebook in your office?
Yes, one of my assistants does.
Yeah, she mentioned that she's having some problems with Facebook because it's like kicking back her ads. Well, the good part about this is we're going to be able to work with you to make sure that our team, that they do social all day long.
Okay.
They're going to be able to make sure that those ads don't get rejected by Facebook.
Okay.
So here's the plan we laid out for you guys, okay, on the annual commitment. So we talked about as far as the months that are very important to be higher on television, right? Those key months, right? So what we did was we actually flighted your campaign over the course of building awareness, maintaining awareness, the lower presence in the months that are not going to be not as viable for real estate, but more importantly, you don't want to go dark here, right? So we basically took your investment, we hit the higher months that are going to be higher seasonality, the moderate season, we pulled the investment back down, as well as in January, February, March, and we ramped it back up again for the springtime. Now let me ask you a question. The way we have this all laid out here, do you see any challenges or do you see any areas that you want to adjust?
We're fine.
You're good. Okay, we'll move forward with this. So we talked about your wife's practice, about her dental practice, how she's just doing outdoor billboards, correct?
Okay.
And it's really hard to manage billboards and track them. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so based upon our research, we want to go after women that are 35 plus. In our initial conversation, we talked about your wife who wanted to go after those who have private insurance. So it's very important that we deliver her message and her branding in front of people that can afford her procedures. The best place, based on our research, to reach your wife's potential customers is going to be in our morning news, our noon news, and our 10 o'clock weekend news. Okay, very similar to what we did with your particular business. We're going to not only just increase the reach, but also the frequency as well. So we have as we go through the consistency, the 1 month, the 3 month, the 12-month campaign, you're going to see as you continue to go up and invest, the long term, once television gets ramped up and running, that's when your reach and frequency really starts kicking in. So, because your dollars actually work harder for you on the back end than they do on the front end. So, also as part of your practice, your wife's practice, we know that there's also a clinic in Picayune, Mississippi, and she's had one of her dentists has now moved over from Picayune to Slidell, and she lost a lot of her patients in Picayune. They don't know where she went. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put together a campaign digitally to let people know in the Picayune market that your wife's, her new dentist is now working in Slidell. And the key with Facebook is test, 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 right? So we're gonna deploy ads and do what's called A/B split testing to make sure that the ads are converting right for you. Because we only want to put dollars against ads that are converting. All right, and the best way to target in your wife's dental practice for Picayune is through a hyper-targeted Facebook campaign. And once again, we're going to take care of the challenge you had earlier about those Facebook ads getting kicked back. So this particular investment, we're looking for 18 to plus females who are interested in health and beauty products. We're going to do daily posts for you, as well as make sure that the the post content is relevant for a $1,000 a month investment. It's a pretty good deal. That's a great deal. It's going to work for you as well. So we pair it all together, right? So what do we put together for you? We put together a digital solution for your real estate company. We put together a hyper-targeted digital solution for your wife's dental practice. And we're also going to take your commercial and your real estate business and explode your brand. Let me ask you another question. Have you seen enough to make a decision?
Yes.
Thanks for the business.